Now, one of the financial industry's most senior figures, Sir Hector Sands, has taken leave of absence from his role as compliance chief, that's at Barclays Bank, after being diagnosed with exhaustion and stress. Sir Hector is the latest senior figure in the City of London forced to take temporary leave. You'll remember that Lloyds Banking Group Chief Executive Antonio Horta Osorio took 2 months off at the end of 2011 due to sleep deprivation and exhaustion. We reported on that. And in August this year, a German intern in London was found dead and reported that his death actually may have been related to working very long hours at one of the city banks. To talk about this, I have Neil Shah with me, founder and director of the Stress Management Society. Neil now works with some of the city's top financial companies, talking to them about stress and pressure at work. Neil, thanks for coming in. Good to talk to you. The issues here, for lots of people, will be familiar. How do you cope with rising pressure in the workplace, especially if you're in a workplace where pressure is the order of the day? For these top city figures, what are they trying to contend with? What are they juggling on a daily basis?
I think the modern day challenge of stress is very different to maybe the stress people would have experienced 15 or 20 years ago. The demands that are made on us are excessive. We have technology, we keep creating new technologies. We've got our smartphones in our pockets that are churning information to us at a rate of knots. We've got emails pinging in. And the challenge is most of us don't switch off. And it's not so much the amount of pressure we're being subjected to, it's most of us are overloaded and we just don't have the means to support ourselves to cope with that sheer level of pressure and demand that we're being subjected to.
So when you advise people, I mean, not just people in these very top jobs with enormous workloads, but all kinds of people, what do you advise in terms of techniques or stress? Do you have simple tools to offer or not?
Absolutely. I've just launched a new book called The 10-Step Stress Solution, which is the first step really is recognising when you're stressed. Most people don't recognise it until it's too late. Some of the characters that you're describing, often it's at that point where they have a burnout, they have a heart attack, or they have a breakdown, is when they actually think, well, actually, I need to take action. It's important to be able to recognise stress at its earliest stages. And most of us relate to the emotional aspects of stress. I feel overwhelmed, I feel panicky, anxious, I feel confused, I feel upset, I feel angry, I can't sleep at night. But actually, way before that, there'll be physical symptoms that will manifest themselves. A lot of people around 8 o'clock this evening are going to start experiencing some of those physical symptoms when the England game kicks off, and there'll be hearts pounding in the chest and breathing becoming shallow and fast, muscles tensing, bladders relaxing, body temperature increasing. That's where stress starts, with the release of substances like adrenaline and cortisol into the bloodstream, will change the way that your body's functioning for a very good reason. It's the fight or flight response, given to us by nature a very good reason. However, in the modern day experience, most of us are getting stressed and going into a state that's essentially a survival mechanism in a situation where there's nothing to fight and nothing to run away from. And that's where it becomes a counterproductive response. So being able to recognize when we can use it constructively, and if it's not working for us, what can I do to take myself out of that state? And the easiest thing is to do what your body was anticipating in the first place. Have breaks. Now, if you've got a lot of pressure and a lot of demand, a lot of people are eating their sandwich at their desk, not taking any breaks, out work till 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and that's where you get to the point of physical exhaustion. Then you can't sleep at night, so you wake up in the morning feeling tired, and we get ourselves locked into these cycles which are very difficult to break out of.
And in the 10 steps that you mentioned, how easy is it to get yourself through the 10 steps practically? Lots of these programmes that people talk about, frankly, are not very practical. They're rather unrealistic.
Well, actually, that's the whole beauty of this programme, is actually understanding sort of how stress manifests itself and doing what nature anticipated you should do, what you should be eating, what you should be drinking. Now, ultimately, when we get stressed in an office-based environment, what is it that people are turning to? Coffee. I need a coffee. I'm really stressed. Or some people might go outside for a cigarette. I need nicotine. Maybe a lunchtime glass of wine, alcohol, or refined sugar products, you know, reaching for that Kit Kat or that donut or biscuit. Now, all of those are stimulants. Now, most of us, when we're stressed in an office-based environment, turn to stimulants. When you're stressed, your body's already in a hyper-stimulated state. Putting in more stimulants actually makes the situation worse, not better. So again, getting people to understand that actually the tools to take yourself out of stress are really simple. In fact, we were born with the mechanisms on board. You don't need to spend any money, you don't need any complex strategies or special equipment, just knowing how to give your body what it's anticipating and use your body in a more natural way.
Good to talk to you, Neil. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're listening. Thank you very much. Neil Shah there. Thanks very much.